Hey, welcome to the 10-minute daily reality check. David Wygant here with John Keegan. One word I need to do with all of you before we go into today's topic, which is, who are you bullshitting?
Who are you bullshitting anyway?
John, I want to tell them before. Okay, I want to tell them before.
Okay.
I'm asking you to spread the podcast, and some of you will say, oh man, I just haven't had the time. Who are you bullshitting? You bullshitting me? Yeah. I know what your fingers are doing right now, man. I know you're on your social media. I know you're all about your Instagram. I know all about Facebook and everything. What you need to do is you need to hit the share button.
Well,
go to my website.
Hold on. You don't need to do anything. First of all, nobody needs to do anything. Why are you telling somebody they need to do something? You need to breathe if you want to be here the next moment. But
you're bullshitting. You don't need to breathe. You can take a breath.
I mean, your breath. No, you don't. You need, if you want to be here the next moment, you have to.
No,
you don't have to think about it.
Watch.
Yeah, your body will do it for you. All right, listen. The point is you don't need to share it, but you might be inspired to share it. It might be a nice way to share it. You might be inspired and think, you know what? These two fucking guys are somewhat interesting and sometimes funny. And once in a while, they really put a light bulb on in my head. I want to share it so other people can hear it.
Well, it was the perfect way to start this podcast.
But you don't need to do it.
I know, but it was the perfect way to start this because everybody on this planet does need to share things that inspire, because the more people that inspire, the more people that are inspired, the more like minds you're going to run into, and the law of attraction is fully at its best, right? Now, today's podcast is all about who you bullshit. How many of you have lived stories in your life? Kind of those bullshit stories where you have this version of the way a relationship worked out, or a version of the reason why your business didn't work out, or a version of the way your job didn't work out. But that version isn't exactly the real version at all. It's just a version to make you feel better, or to make you look better, or to continue to paint you as the victim in your bullshit story that you've had. Today's podcast is all about who are you bullshitting.
Who are you bullshitting? And this is really great. It's like, we're on a journey of self-discovery, and one of the biggest people, we think we're bullshitting other people, but we're always bullshitting ourselves.
Always.
And this episode's really just all about getting naked, getting honest with you, really understanding, that when you think you're bullshitting, you're fluffing yourself up, or you think you can hide something, you can hide what's really going on inside of you, that other people who are in tune with themselves, the people you really want to know, they can smell it a mile away. They know you're bullshitting. And also, the universe knows you're bullshitting. When you're putting out fake stink, you're going to get fake stink back. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because the fact of the matter is that people in life are spending so much time not being authentic. We all make mistakes. I mean, that's what life is all about. We all make mistakes. We get involved in situations. We get involved in relationships. We get involved in marriages. We get involved in business partnerships. And we make a commitment to somebody. We strike a deal. How many times have you been involved in a business relationship, you struck a deal, and then the deal wasn't that great, and then 5 years later you decide, let me see if I could get a better deal than the one I struck 5 years ago. Well, you're bullshitting yourself, because a man or woman of word struck a deal at that time, and it may not have been the best deal long range, but you are a man or woman of your word. You're a person of your word, and when you're a person of your word, in life you make a choice, you make a decision. And the problem is that people come back later and go, I just don't feel like I got a good deal. I don't feel like I should have signed that paperwork. I don't feel like I should have given up, my, liquid assets in that house. I don't feel like I should have sold the car at that price. And it's like, you're bullshitting yourself, because the fact is, in life, all we have is decisions. We don't go backwards. So you're bullshitting people because you don't want to take responsibility for maybe a decision you made in the past, a mistake you might have made in the past. And we all got tons of mistakes in the past.
Well, I think you're making a great point. And it comes back to a lot of stuff. A lot of problems that are personal problems that we feel that we have could be solved if we really just took ownership. Complete and total ownership of ourselves, of our lives, of our mistakes, of of the things we felt like were mistakes anyway, of the things, the situations we got ourselves in. If we really took ownership, even when it seems hard to do, even when it seems like, how can it be my my fault? How can I'm definitely the victim here. If you really just took ownership, it would solve almost all your problems immediately. These sort of problems that we make up in our mind. And I think that for me, it's when I say who are you bullshitting, I got to ask myself this question: who am I bullshitting?
Always yourself.
Yeah, and what am I bullshitting myself about? Let's think about it. What am I bullshitting myself about? What am I bullshitting myself about? You know, like, am I bullshitting myself about like that I should have 3 books in a bookstore? When the reality is sure, I'm a creative guy, but I don't write every day. I haven't written once this week or this month.
No,
but I think I should have 3 books in a bookstore.
And you procrastinated to do the writing.
Yeah.
And the fact of the matter is that if you think you deserve 3 books in a bookstore, the reality is, your answer is, who do you think you're bullshitting? Only yourself. Yeah, you do deserve to have 3 books in the bookstore, but you've procrastinated and not gotten it done.
Yeah, I think
so.
I'm
Someone else,
enough.
right? You're talented enough, but somebody else can get those 3 books in a bookstore because they diligently write nonstop. There's another good story too. A client of mine met this woman, thought she was the greatest woman in the entire fucking world ever, right?
Yeah.
And this woman really wants to have a baby, and he's already got 2 kids. So he never wanted kids. It was never in his vision board, right? More kids, right? He's happy with his 2 kids. Never wanted more kids in his life, right?
Yeah.
So he's bullshitting himself. He continues to date her. And he goes, yeah, I could probably do it. I might be able to do it. And the thing is, who do you think you're bullshitting? You're bullshitting yourself. When you bullshit yourself and you're not being authentic with yourself, you're changing the course of somebody else's life, because this person is actually believing the story that you have, because he's told her that he's open for it. Meanwhile, we'll go out to dinner and he'll have fucking panic all over his face, and he'll look and just go, I can't do it, I can't do it, I can't do it. Well, you need to tell her, you need to let her go, because she's on a path and you're on a path. And the only path that you can present to her is this: I will love you. I will be with you. I just can't give you what you're looking for. If you want to be with me, great. If not, then I can totally understand that you need to go find somebody else. And that's the thing I think that people are doing. They're bullshitting one another because they don't want to let it go, because they don't have an abundant mindset. Just like the person who's continually taking money from their parents as an adult, because they don't want to not have the money. And their parents keep enabling them. And what happens next is that they're fucking bullshitting themselves. It's
but
like,
hold on. To me, what we're talking about is self-inventory.
Total self-inventory.
I'm going to give you some more. I'm going to do some more for myself. And then you got to do something on yourself. And then you guys out there have to do something on yourself. So we know that I'm a procrastinator. We know that I've done that. But also, I should have...
A genius procrastinator.
Yeah, I mean, very brilliant. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. I feel like I could have made great music in my life. I could have made great movies. I could have done a million things.
Could have done whatever you wanted.
Now with my dating and relationship business, I should have several, I say to myself, I could have several online courses, and I could be making millions of dollars every year. And I know plenty of other people with half the talent, with half the creative
What are you talking about?
Who take our ideas. And
honestly, like 5% of the fucking talents.
Yeah, thank you. That's
okay,
nice.
but they have 95% of the marketing skills that you lack, right? And that's if we're being authentic and honest.
To be honest, it's even more than that. I'd rather go out and talk to people than sit at home and work on that course. I'd rather go out and daydream than sit on that wood.
I've seen you daydream.
Yeah, and I like to do it, and it feels good, and I've dated some of the world's most beautiful and interesting women.
But you do. You will look.
Amazing conversation.
No, you will. You're. It's interesting, and it's. Look, you're my best fucking friends, and I totally accept it. And it's fucking hilarious. I'll be sitting here doing work, and I'll literally tell you. Come on, John, just sit here with me all day long, and you get antsy, and you look at me like a little kid in the corner. I'm getting bored right now. Right? Yeah. And then you fucking check out, and you fucking hit the streets, and you go daydream all day long. Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with it. Well, and then I call you out, sometimes as a friend, right? You go, well, I should have done my course. And I go, well, then you should have stayed home. Who do you think you're bullshitting? And that's what a friend does to another friend. But also you need to call yourself out. Yeah. It's okay. If you want to choose daydreaming, it doesn't affect anybody else, right? When you're bullshitting somebody else and taking them down a path with you, or using somebody for money, that's a big thing.
Also, when I'm saying, for example, oh, why does that guy have this all this working for him? Why does he get all the views? Why does he got that?
We only do that late nights.
Yeah, we do it. I'm just saying.
Right.
I'm not saying but we really don't do that. But I'm saying,
No.
or why don't I have it? Why don't I have $1 million? Why don't I have it? Well, I mean, in my case, I definitely know why it's not. I have a great life. I make great money. But why I don't have all the things in the world I want to have is because the things I want to have are right in front of me, and I'm just not doing the work.
No, you're not doing work.
I'm just. Dude,
you're taking ownership.
Yeah, I'm taking ownership right here, right now, in front of all you guys, so now everybody can hold me accountable. But I ask you, David, and I ask you guys out there, and I don't know if we even have time for you to answer right now, but I ask you, take inventory. Who are you bullshitting? Who are you bullshitting?
Oh, we going there again?
Yeah.
I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I can do it yet. Wait a second. Who? I just can't because I'm too much about the comedy. But I'm too much about comedy. But it's so true. It's like when I take inventory of myself, I look at myself and I say to myself, like the other day I was going through this really frustrating moment. I couldn't figure out to get the sound right? And I couldn't figure out how to get the fucking the camera angle right.
We don't want to talk about what happened with our bulge.
No. We don't want to talk about the bulge. We'll talk about the bulge another time, right?
Very funny.
That was very, very funny. Just be careful with GoPro.
Stay tuned for that.
Yeah, if you ever want to send somebody a really good naughty video, use the Go Bulge camera.
Yeah.
Because the angle, and all you need to do is have it at an angle and have your legs spread wide, and you look like you have elephantitis for your balls. But anyway, I know when I don't accomplish things in my life, or I have a communication breakdown, or whatever it might be, I will look at myself first now and say, I could blame that other person, but in reality, I'm just going to fucking blame myself because I don't want to bullshit myself because it means when you bullshit yourself, you're not taking inventory and you're not working on the things that are actually going to make these things that you're bullshitting yourself on become far more easier than ever before.
Well, and the other thing is this is going to bring up a podcast.
And we're almost out.
Yeah, we're going to do another podcast about this exact subject. But David, going back to the camera thing, it's about. Finally, we both said, listen, we both have our strengths, and we both have things we're just not good at. Our brains don't function that way. But we have our strengths, and our strengths serve us well. And when we play to them, we make money, we make new friends, life flows for us. But when we get bogged down in things like fixing cameras and setting up the audio the right way, we go crazy. So
it's a bad ADD day.
But so instead of dealing with it, we can hire someone else to deal with it. Why fight the grain? But we'll come back to that in another podcast. But we learned something from that. When we decided to take ownership, what we found is look, I'm taking ownership of this, but that doesn't mean I'm the guy who's going to fix it. Instead, what I can do is get someone else to fix something that I'm not good at. That's what I can do instead of just being stuck here with a bunch of laying in a pool, a bunch of wires around my neck and frustrated and fucking cursing God. You can just hire some guy for $25 an hour.
I remember this is the last story I'm going to leave him with today. Okay. Yeah. I remember when I was living in Jersey City, my girlfriend Jessica at the time, we bought a gas grill. I wanted to save $20 by not having them put it together at Lowe's, right? I could fucking do it myself, right? I went home. I'm 3 hours up on my deck. It's a beautiful roof deck. I can see the Empire State Building and everything else. And I finally got enough of the parts together, right? There's still about 11 parts on the ground, that were just scattered all over the deck, right? And I thought to myself, fuck it. It's standing. It looks together, right? So I went down. I looked at her. I said, you know what? I said, give me the matches. Give me the steak. We're going to have our first grilled dinner. I mean, I'm so happy about this. So I go upstairs and I hit the button and nothing's happening. I don't hear, because I've lit in gas grills before. I'm like, shit. So I'm like, fuck, I hear the gas coming out. I don't hear the snapping going on. And I'm like, fuck it. So I take a match and throw it onto the top of the grill. The next thing you know is, whoof, the entire fucking grill just blew up around me, right? And then the flame went down and then I had a beautiful fucking fire going. So I put the steak on. I went downstairs, right? I kind of, I didn't feel like my skin was burned or anything. I went downstairs, my eyelashes were singed off, and so were my eyebrows, right? I had like half an eyebrow, okay? And she looks at me, she goes, what the fuck did you do? And I said, what are you talking about? She showed me a mirror. I was laughing my ass off so hard, right? Yeah. But I was bullshitting myself because I can't put things together. I can't put IKEA together. I can't put anything together. And that's the thing about life. If you suck at IKEA, you might suck at other things. So find the things that you suck at and have somebody else do it. Because who are you
bullshitting?
Spread the podcast.
Share it. Just share it. You know you can. Anyway, come on back tomorrow for more radical, and I say radical, self-help that doesn't suck.